Good afternoon and welcome to episode number 3 of Trax Action News Express-ish. I'm Alex Vanover.
And I'm overdressed. Josh LaRue.
That sounds like an action figure. You got regular Josh LaRue and you've got overdressed Josh LaRue.
I don't even have the hat on today, so all the hair is just beautiful hair is just falling out.
Yeah, you with that nice of a blazer on, you look like you need a monocle and a long tail on your coat jacket. Right?
Who says it doesn't have a long tail on it? It could. You just can't see it.
Me, I guess. You need to have one of those big penguin cigarette holders.
Yes, yes, from like the 60s Batman. Yes.
Yeah.
Some days you just
All
can't
right.
have a bomb.
Slashaholics, Josh and I are checking in for episode number 3 of Express-ish. We're not here for a long time, but we're damn sure here for a good time.
Yep, because I'm gonna drink this while we're doing it.
Yeah, and Josh is back on the Crystal Clear bandwagon.
Oh.
Josh has got a short out on the network for Crystal Clear. Check it out.
Yeah, it could be back on the shelves. This is just water, by the way, sadly. But yeah, it should be back this year. Check it out. Pretty cool. And
Thank you,
Ecto
sorry.
So yeah.
Josh, no further ado. Let's get into the very first nice comment, the only nice comment of the episode.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Oh my God, the music and Josh explaining the Cosby stuff to Alex was the funniest bit by far. You guys get better and better. Milk that cow. And that's from friend of the channel, Tammy Turner, 785. She left that nice comment in the comment section of Trax Action News number 38. And boys and girls, Slashaholics, Slashketeers, you could be featured on a nice comment, mean comment, if you leave something like that on the very next episode. So it's an incentive. You want to get in on the action? You want to get in on the fun? Leave a nice comment.
And if you don't know what explaining the Bill Cosby stuff is, he didn't know about Bill Cosby's bad doings, so we turned off the microphones. I explained it to him, kind of pantomimed everything that's gone down, and we put it to yakety sax. So yeah, it was something.
Josh, now let's clean our palate of Bill Cosby's sinful, dirty ways, and let's celebrate this week's show sponsor and send them, show the Slashaholics the commercial they want us to show today. This is today's show sponsor.
Let's do it.
The Comac Motor Inn.
Your fantasy getaway.
The Red Room's heart-shaped waterbed.
The disco room's flashing lights.
Drift away in a giant round waterbed.
Or just relax.
In the love tub.
For something excitingly different, come to the Comac Motor Inn.
The Comac Motor Inn, your fantasy getaway.
All right.
If we ever travel together, like if the podcast goes, nationwide and we do city to city, say we do a tour, we're gonna have to book a night or two at that location.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'll try anything once. So, and it'll be free. So
yeah, all expenses paid for. It'll be like Dumb and Dumber when Harry and Lloyd are in the heart-shaped hot tub. Yeah, me and Josh in the heart-shaped hot tub recording an episode of Trax News.
But Alex, what if they shot me in the face?
Our views are going down. Our pets' heads are falling off.
This podcast is getting old anyways.
Yeah, hey man, this podcast has been going strong for 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years. So congrats, buddy. Finally paid for a blazer after 3 years. I'm still waiting though.
Actually, the interview guy got beat up by Jumpin' Jeff and Tony, and they stole his and gave it to me. So
did they?
Yeah, the guy that's always like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jumpin' Jeff Farmer."
Hey, Jumpin' Jeff, did that actually happen?
Yep. And I'm sure the folks at home want to know, Tony, exactly how much I paid you guys and how it went down.
Here's Tony the Spider.
If you people only knew.
And that, Tony, is why you make the big bucks, because you keep your mouth shut. And I respect that.
Tony's a guy that you can trust with a secret. If his lips are sealed, he's not telling shit. Josh, let's get into some fun facts.
Let's do it.
Okay. Before mating, male giraffes headbutt the females in the bladder until they pee. They then taste the urine to see if she's ovulating.
You know, all they need to do to save all that violence is to get a cheetah
Mm-hmm.
to like make that to meow or whatever real loud, and it'll get the giraffe ovulating anyways.
Oh, nice callback.
That was a fun fact from the last full episode of the news. But
Yeah,
no, man, like they're into the wet work. So
they love it. I was gonna say, man, like I just envisioned, the giraffe like having a little wine taste testing, swishing it around in its mouth, gargling it, if you
Smelling
will. Yeah, smelling it, making sure it's a good year.
the male giraffe's like, I got a headache. Hey, buddy, can you roar? Let's see if this works
Yeah.
on other species of animal here. Let's try
Yeah,
it.
I'm not into drinking urine today. Let's cut out the metal man today. Hey, Josh, final fun fact of the episode. In Beijing, Josh, you can pay someone $60 to come and rescue you from a traffic jam. They pick you up on a motorbike, and then someone else drives your car to its intended location. Would you use that service, Josh?
Yes, I would. Legal
Yeah.
lift. Legal lift. Is
My
what it's
only
called.
my only question about that service is what's the insurance situation? Do you have to do paperwork over the phone or something? How's the guy driving your car legally?
It's all in the app, man. It's all in the app.
All right.
Literal lift.
Yeah, so hey, if you people over there in Japan are watching Slash Trax Action News right now and you want to sponsor an upcoming episode, we will gladly take $60 on our next episode, and you can be our title sponsor. Legal Lift, is that what you're calling it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Legal.
Josh, Josh has created a really fun segment on the Slash Trax News programs. It's Slash Trax Cringe Corner. Josh, can we go to today's Cringe Corner?
Yeah, we can, but it's kind of like our wrestling story today could have been the cringe corner too. But this is the actual cringe corner. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch, how about some b-ball? Sure, Ben. In a minute. But first, let me tell you about Jesus. I've been saved. Been saved? What's that all about? Well, it's kind of like this. From the Father, through His Son, by His Word, into your heart, nothing but net.
That one's up there. It's definitely up there.
Who invited this kid to play basketball with us?
All we're missing is Bible Man instead of it being a kid trying to sell him on it,
If I'm inviting this kid to play basketball with me and you, and we just want to balance the teams out to have like a fun game, and the very first thing he wants to talk about is Jesus, I've got a problem. I have nothing against God or religion. I'm just saying that better not be the very first thing you say to me when I meet you.
Oh yeah. I'm not putting down. I'm just putting down religion. I'm just pointing out cringy stuff when we see it.
Yeah, everything is fair game. We are essentially South Park. But I'm just telling you, Josh, if somebody said the first thing that comes out of their mouth when we're going to play basketball is Jesus, I'll play with uneven teams. I'm fine. We don't need you.
And there's a lot of spirituality that's cringy in sports, like praying for a team to win when there's literally like bad stuff happening out in the world, It's like
God cares.
Hold off on fixing that right now, Lord, and forget those kids that are, starving. My team needs to really win the big game, okay? Please.
Yeah, they
Cringe
need to
corner.
win. Please, God, they need to win really bad, because if they don't, I'm going to sulk the rest of the day. And when I get my pizza and chicken wings, I won't enjoy it quite as much.
Exactly. So
Please. Speaking of sports, let's slide right in to Slash Track Sports.
Right.
Okay, this is breaking news. Randy Johnson, when he played for the Seattle Mariners back in the mid-'90s, kept a bag of baseballs near his bed for protection in case somebody broke into his house. And here is a direct quote. "I don't own a gun, but I keep a bag of baseballs near our bed. If someone breaks in, they had better be wearing a batting helmet because I'm going to throw at their heads. And that's Hall of Fame pitcher, 6'10", 6'11", Randy Johnson. He threw over 100 miles per hour, perfect games, no hitters, World Series champion, Hall of Famer. Josh, there is a clip of him throwing a baseball in a game, and a dove happens to fly in his direction while he's throwing, and the dove explodes.
This could be your head if you break into his house.
Yeah, let's go to that clip real quick.
Yeah. Jumpin' Jeff, I bet you're going to stay away from his house, aren't you?
Yep.
But yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy, man.
I'm seriously though, you got hit by a Randy Johnson fastball in a dark house at like 3 o'clock in the morning. The lights would go out and you wouldn't even know they went out because the light, it's dark in there. You're a burglar. You get hit high and tight. Like the neighbor on the Sandlot, how he went blind because he took a fastball to the head. He actually broke into Randy Johnson's house and attempted to steal some loot. That was what actually happened.
True story. True story.
Yeah. I think in the future, I had a thought when you went to Jumpin' Jeff. We should do country buffet guy versus Randy Johnson, maybe in an upcoming episode.
Okay. All right.
Jumpin' Jeff, special guest referee.
Tony, the spider timekeeper.
Yeah.
How much time we got left over there, Tony? And he's like, if you folks only knew.
Yeah, that's why we asked. You're supposed to be producing the show here.
And then we're like, seriously, how much time's left? He's like, and just walks off.
He's so lucky he's cousins with Jumpin' Jeff.
I know, right?
We would have never hired him had he not. It's nepotism at its best.
And we've got applications from other IPW wrestlers, so maybe they'll start popping up too. There's a whole cast of characters over there.
Hey, Slashaholics, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This Express episode, this next story is basically the reason we're recording this episode. So, Josh, let's get into Trax News Wrestling. And this is your baby for the episode, so why don't you take us away, buddy? Do
you know the name of the podcast he was on? I can't remember the name.
Yeah, he was on the Pat McAfee show.
Yes. Hulk Hogan, the man, the myth, the asshole, was on the Pat McAfee?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. You say McAfee, I say McAfee, spelt the same. And in fact, brother, I'm the one that started it. Named it. I came up with the name and everything.
Damn.
Brother. No, Hogan was on there, and even though it's been like 3 weeks now, he's talking as if it happened yesterday. So I guess it took him that long to come up with his explanation on why he was booed mercilessly on the Raw debut on Netflix back on January 3rd, I believe, in Los Angeles, California. Which, by the way, he was also booed mercilessly the next week in Dallas, Texas, when CM Punk brought up the name Hulk Hogan, and then cheered mercilessly whenever CM Punk mentioned killing Hulkamania forever. That was cheered in Dallas, Texas. So it's not a red state, blue state thing by any means. But anyways, Hogan's excuse for why he got booed is...
This last time I ran hard in LA, I was a bad guy. I was Hollywood Hogan, man. I was riding dirty with the boys, Nash and Hall, and we were spray painting people and crotch shotting everybody and started out with the Too Sweet stuff. So last time I was there, I was a heel. The day, we kind of looked at it the next day because, I had like 11 billion impressions, and some of the other guys, some of the big stars that were on that car that night only had like 3 billion. I don't name names, but we were
so you were like,
I was like, ooh, hating some more. I had to be a good guy in LA.
Yes.
Now, if this was for wrestling and they turned on me like that, I'd have turned it to Hollywood.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you hate me for everything I've done for all the Make-A-Wish kids and everything I did for your kids. Well, guess what? I did it for the money. and by the way, since you want so much hatred coming your way, I hope you have a good time when Kamala Harris, is your new governor, and you're all standing in the soup line. Mic drop. See ya.
Jeez Louise.
But I couldn't do that.
Hogan said back in 97, brother, I was running hard with the NWO as a heel, teaming up with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, spray painting people, doing beat downs. And what was the other thing? He said crotch chopping. So I expected that crowd to boo me because, I was running a heel back in 97. And he completely negates the fact that he made a return to WWF and WWE in the early 2000s, where at WrestleMania 21, he wrestled as a super face and came out to the crowd. Deafening cheers in Los Angeles, this Hulk Hogan. And
he was saving Eugene from Muhammad Hassan and Daivari. And not Daivari. It was Muhammad. Maybe it was. It was Muhammad Hassan, and they were gonna kill Eugene, I guess. And then Hulkamania showed up in L.A. Right?
Yeah.
Saved the day.
It's Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 21. The Hulkster is in Hollywood.
And he also added, if it wasn't for him having to peddle his piss water, the beer that most people aren't going to buy because they've already got a favorite beer, he would have done a heel promo. And in that heel promo, for a guy that's trying to says it's not about politics completely, he was going to throw politics into it and attack a left-leaning candidate for office. And it's like, dude, for somebody that has done so many smart things in this business and looked out for himself, he is so delusional. Like he just can't get. Most of the fans now weren't even, Alex, they weren't here in 1997. If they were, they were toddlers. Like, what is this man thinking? Is he that delusional that he needs to go away? People are just done with him.
He's at the age where it's like, I'm not even sure what the value is in him showing up anymore, because he can't even really do a double bicep pose anymore, because he's old. No, I mean, he looked great his entire life. That was kind of like one thing he always had in his back pocket was his physique. That's gone. He's everything that he did behind the scenes, holding people down politically, his racism, his nepotism, his trying to push his daughter to the moon wherever he went, his son, all those jailhouse phone calls, all the times he wouldn't put over Macho Man or Ric Flair. I mean, he said he wanted to do what was best for business, but it was always what was best for Hulk Hogan.
All the lies and delusion, man. How does he keep up with them? He doesn't keep up with these stories.
He doesn't. He contradicts himself constantly. He was trying to explain, like you said, that like in LA the last time he was there, he was a heel, but it's like he led off his BS with the fact that he said he expected to get booed. So you're telling me that he went out there with Jimmy Hart with an American flag, and he went out there like it was the Republican rally, and he thought, because he just got cheered, he thought that it was going to be the same thing all over again. He spins everything to make him look better. I have a hard time because, like, Josh, when we do stuff, we've been business partners, friends, and heavily involved in each other's lives for years now. Whenever we have a success, we pretty much know why, and we kind of know what happened and what we did to make it happen. When we have a failure, we know why, we know what's going on, we can kind of read the tea leaves. When we accept it and we try to get better, he does not do that. He takes no accountability for anything. He is literally, I don't know if he's delusional or if he's just that dumb. Does he really think that everything he does is money? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, yeah, brother, I knew I was going to get booed, so I went out there with a promo about how the fans have never turned against me. But, I expected them to turn against me because of that time that I had them turn against me by becoming a heel. Like, he doesn't even listen to what he's saying.
No,
And I'm just, this right here, what he just did, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, you were my childhood hero. Like you're ever going to see this, brother, but you were my childhood hero. Okay. And you ruined it for so many kids. You ruined it, man. This right here, what you just did on that, instead of taking accountability, admitting that you got some faults, what you said on that podcast is exactly why you were booed out of that building. Wrestling fans are done with you because of this sick, delusional attitude you have. And as far as politics go, take a page out of Mark Calloway's book, okay? He knew how to, because I don't agree with his politics, one iota, but I love The Undertaker. He knows how to keep his character and his personal life separate. You know that Terry Bollea is a loser, a piece of crap, lying loser. So all you have is Hulk Hogan. Maybe it's time you just stay home.
He's got enough money. Like the last thing I'm going to say about it, the video where his son Nick is getting his like second or third DUI and Hogan's talking to the police officer about how nothing good in his life ever came from alcohol. He had this whole
respected that.
he had this whole spin about how alcohol's been a detriment to his life and all of his personal decisions and all this stuff. And then literally 3 to 4 months later, he's the brand ambassador, I think owner of all real American beer. I don't get it.
We praised him on how he handled that situation here on the show. We go back and watch it. We praised him. I'll go delete that segment now. You know,
dude, I'm almost 10 years alcohol free.
Yep.
I used to bartend and I made great money. I left all that in the past because I felt like a hypocrite. I didn't want to make money off of somebody else's problems. Like I didn't want to make money off of something that like almost killed me.
Yep.
So like Hulk Hogan acting like that kind of I felt good about the message he was sending for once. It seemed genuine. And then 4 to 5 months later, he completely flips it. And now he's in bed with, now he's selling it and he's trying, I don't know, whatever.
Slapped it on a plastic beer mug and now he's selling it. He's selling it. Like
money.
Callback.
Money.
But
the money and the miles, Josh, it's all about the money and the miles. It's literally, it's everything he's ever done has been a work.
Yep. And
it's all a work. That's all I have to say.
Every episode going forward, I'm going to have a Hogan lie for the audience to break down in like a 5-minute piece every episode. And I did just make a Jurassic Park reference with the selling it thing, the Jeff Goldblum line. If you haven't seen it yet, folks, watch the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. Crazy. It looks awesome. It's actually got me pumped. I didn't think I was going to give a crap because the last couple movies just weren't that great. But it's an island they have to go to get DNA like blood samples because it can like cure heart disease or something from the 3 largest dinosaurs on this island. And this island is actually an original island where they first started cloning dinosaurs back in the late 80s for the original Jurassic Park and storyline. And before they started like mixing frog DNA and all that, they had a lot of failures. And a lot of those cloning failures are alive on this island. There is a T-Rex failure in the trailer that is nightmare fuel, man. It looks like the Rancor mixed with like a xenomorph mixed with like if dinosaurs had like some human genes in them. It's got these long arms, but also like little T-Rex arms coming out in the front. I'll put a picture of it right here.
Hey, before we get into Slash Trax horror, I want to piggyback off that. I had done some research after you sent me that trailer of the Jurassic Park thing. Apparently, that isn't the only terrifying dinosaur that you'll find on that island. You'll actually find one from Venice Beach, California. One of the scariest dinosaurs of all time. Mr. America himself, Hulk Hogan. He's also the most terrifying dinosaur that you'll find on that island. He resides from there now, Jurassic Park Island.
He actually, Site C is where he's from, yep. And he actually came up with the frog idea. When the cloning wasn't working, Hulk Hogan's actually the one that called up John Hammond and said, "Did you try putting frog DNA in there, brother?" And
what he said was, whatever the formula was before that, he called John Hammond and he's like, "That's not gonna work for me, brother. We're gonna try frog DNA."
That was all Hogan. But here is
All
a
Hulk Hogan.
picture. Here's a picture of the mutated T-Rex. It's really creepy, folks. Check it out.
Slashaholics and Slashketeers /Trax 2020 at gmail.com. You can write in us. You can write into the show. Leave suggestions for who would win. Would you rather? Ask ask Slashy, our advice section. If you have something you want to something you would like us to talk about in a future episode, maybe there's a story that you would like to hear us discuss on the show, go ahead and submit that news article to the email /Trax2020 at gmail.com. We read all of our emails. We read all of our comments. We try to reply to all of them. If you send us something, we do see it. So you're not wasting your time. Josh, can you tell the fine folks at home about our Patreon and our Cameo?
Yes, all the information has been on the screen. If you want to support the channel and see us continue doing what we're doing, do so at patreon.com/80slasherlibrarian. You can also make a super thanks tip donation to our PayPal or even Cash App. That information is in the pinned comment and description below always.
Sweet. All right, Josh. This besides Hulk Hogan, what me and you talked about on the phone, the other story that we really wanted to cover was this one. Slashaholics, Matthew Lillard is officially returning and signed on for Scream 7, Josh's favorite horror franchise, the Scream franchise. Matthew Lillard, Stu Macher, is back. Josh, what are your thoughts?
I like it, but it kind of tells me now that what I really wanted Stu back for him to end up being a ghost face again, is not going to happen, because if that was the case, I seriously doubt they would have announced him being in the movie. And also the fact that Scott Foley's been announced to come back as well. Whenever
Roman.
he was definitely shot in the head, Roman. It kind of took the wind out of my sails, really. But I am excited that Matthew's going to do something. He looks a lot different, so I seriously doubt a hallucination or a flashback is coming. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be like a somebody Sydney goes to see him in a psych ward or something. Who could this be? Maybe he's like the Hannibal Lecter of the movie.
I really hope that's the direction they go, because I did a little bit of research. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this, I'm letting you know now, don't listen to this part. I had read that they're thinking about doing an AI situation with the movie script, where AI essentially like recreates the past killers, or a situation where the voices of Stu and Roman and previous killers are being copied over the phone.
Yeah.
So I've heard it could go either way. I hope it's an actual Stu's alive situation, not that it's just like some cheesy bot, like chat bot or whatever they're thinking of doing.
Yeah, because I would love to have Stu, after Sydney gets advice from him or whatever, be like, hey, if you see my parents, could you have them visit? They're so mad at me. Just a call back, yeah, they're gonna
Well,
my parents are gonna be so mad at me.
well, that tube TV that got dropped on his head in the first Scream back in 1996. It's kind of, that TV would actually be worth a lot of money today, because video game enthusiasts would love to have it for their retro room.
Yep.
Because you
I've
can
got
only
one.
play like, yeah, me too. You can only play like Nintendo Zapper on the old tube TVs.
If you
Um,
if you want to play
yeah,
Zapper on a flat screen, put a candle on the left side of the TV and a candle on the right side and light them, and you can actually use a flat screen HD. It's a hack.
Really?
Yep, it works for the Wii as well if you don't have a sensor bar. Yep.
Okay. That's super interesting. I did not know that. So yeah, hey Josh, so not just Matthew Lillard returning, you said Scott Foley, who played Roman. There's been rumors that other people are going to join the cast. Nobody has been they haven't really said publicly anyone else, coming back, but I had seen that maybe Emma Roberts wasn't she the one who played Jill
In part
in Scream
four.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, part 4.
Yeah.
You know what? She's one of my favorite ghost faces ever, by the way. She is a stone cold biatch. She,
You know who my least favorite Ghostface is?
who?
Because I haven't even watched part 6. The
I
little,
sent, wait a minute. I sent you the digital copy of
yep,
6.
yep. It's on my to-do list. I just haven't done it yet because I'm waiting. I was waiting to see what's happening with part 7.
Okay. Who's your least favorite?
Part 5, the one that kills, spoiler alert, unceremoniously kills Dewey with superpowers. She has superpowers, man. Tiny
Yeah.
little cheerleader, 16-year-old girl eviscerates him from like waist to neck on front and back after being shot 6 times point blank in the chest, even with wearing a bulletproof vest, which Dewey would have done 6 shots in the head.
Yeah, he would have.
Point.
They shoot. Isn't he the one who shoots Roman in the head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Case closed. This one's gonna Josh. You're gonna be excited for this one.
Okay.
McKenna Grace is signed on to be in Scream 7. McKenna Grace was the Spangler's granddaughter from Ghostbusters Afterlife and all the new Ghostbusters movies. I love her.
There's a new one in the works already, by the way, a sequel to Frozen Empire with her. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yep. And a TV show, a new animated series for Ghostbusters coming to Netflix. So that's cool.
I knew that McKenna Grace was going to be special, and I didn't know she was going to be like this famous, or this great. When she was on Fuller House and she was playing the girlfriend of the youngest boy
Yeah.
on the Netflix show Fuller House, I just thought she was delightful. Her career is like a really nice thing to see. She's going
Proud of her.
places.
Proud of her, like she's a niece or something.
Yeah, she's the
good.
best part of those new Ghostbuster movies, in my opinion. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Well, the retro cast is fun too, but yeah, as far as like outside the OG guys, she really, her and Paul Rudd's relationship in those movies,
It's great.
Gruber, yeah, Gruberson, yeah,
And Paul Rudd, by the way, this is totally a sidetrack. Paul Rudd in those films, if Paul Rudd was alive in the 80s when the first 2 Ghostbusters were made, he would have been cast in those Ghostbusters movies because he fit the part perfectly.
yes, definitely.
His personality is tailor-made for that. Josh, we have one submission for an Ask Slashy, or Dear Slashy, Ask Slashy, for this episode. It's actually a video submission, and it just says from you know who.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
I do. I'm probably going to have one later tonight. It's a really good question. We actually have a video response to that question from one of our employees.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
See?
Yeah. Even without your help and Jumpin' Jeff's assistance on that one, I do enjoy them as well. I'm not sure that I'm going to have one tonight like Josh. I wish I was. I may be just going old school vanilla cone for the win. So yes, country buffet guy, we do like hot fudge sundaes. And also it's just nice to see something from country buffet guy Josh that isn't quite so menacing or passive aggressive towards us.
Yeah. I thought he was going to get us there for a while.
There was a time, Slashaholics, and on the other channel, on the one of the older news episodes, he, without saying as much, he sent some very intimidating video footage to us where I thought he was going to attempt to delete us.
Yeah.
So yeah, Josh, let's get into the very last story of the show. Let's get into headlines.
Let's do it.
All right, Josh, last story of the show. And this pertains to something we've talked about quite a bit recently. This is the headline.
Okay.
Over 100,000 eggs were stolen in Pennsylvania. Authorities in Pennsylvania, Josh, are investigating the theft of approximately 100,000 eggs, which has a street value of $40,000 from a distribution trailer belonging to Pete and Jerry's Organics. Eggs were $4.10 nationally per dozen in December. And this is due, and I now have the answer, Josh, why eggs are so expensive. Me and you were kind of questioning this. Apparently, there has been an avian flu outbreak amongst birds, and it has caused a major shortage because a lot of these birds ended up, hundreds of thousands of birds died. So all these hens that are laying eggs for these companies have died. So supply is very low.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for because of the egg shortage, because of inflation, and because of the bird flu. This is a headline as well. I read this. Uh, Waffle House is going to be charging an extra 50-cent surcharge for every egg.
Saw that. I
True
saw that
story.
today.
So
Saw
it's
that
going to be
today.
harder. It's going to be a little more expensive to soak up that alcohol at 3 in the morning after leaving the club, folks. After you have your real American beer, because that's the only beer anybody's drinking, brother. Anyways, that's crazy. What are they going to do with the 100,000 eggs? Are they like an egg stealing Robin Hood? Are they going to steal from the rich and give to the steal from the full and give to the hungry?
No way. This
Well,
is a since marijuana is legal now in Oregon and for a lot of parts of the United States, and the price of it has gone down so drastically because the demand's not there anymore and the supply's up. Eggs is the old switcheroony slashaholics. Instead of people selling drugs or watches on the streets of New York or Pennsylvania, people will be coming up to you, opening up their jacket, and having eggs. They will be selling eggs illegally on the street corners at a spot near you, probably, right?
yeah, man, I got them fried. I got them sunny side up. I got them scrambled, man.
Hey, I even got those basted joints. You like those basted, dog? And don't even get me started, son. I can poach the living shit out of these eggs for you, dog.
It sounds like something the Trailer Park Boys would have got tied up in. You know, they
big
find out
dirty.
we get there's some gold here, man. There's something that's guaranteed gold, guaranteed money. They show up. And they're like,
Eggs.
why is it a farm for Bubbles? What's going on? Or Ricky, Ricky's like, don't worry, I know the stuff's in here. It's good stuff, they said. And it's just a bunch of eggs and they have to steal them. Sounds like a Trailer Park Boys episode. I'm gonna say Ricky and Julian and Bubbles are somewhere in on this, or one of them cloned egg-sucking dinosaurs escaped from Site C.
Yeah.
It swam, it sailed across the ocean on Hulk Hogan's hot dog skin back as he floated, because he's not only a wrestler and an actor, but he's also a flotation device. And yeah, so
Because he's full of wind and he's always able to float. Bubbles. This is what Bubbles would say if you're Julian and you're telling me about the egg heist. Stealing eggs is fucked, Ray. ripping the plumbing out of your walls for liquor money, Ray, is fucked.
would that not be a great episode of Trailer Park Boys?
I wish they were still making new episodes. I watch Trailer Park Boys probably every other day. I just watched Countdown to Liquor Day yesterday. So Slashaholics, if you haven't seen that special Countdown to Liquor Day, maybe one of their best episodes they've ever done, or short specials. It's
They've
great.
been doing episodes on SwearNet, their website, and they've actually already filmed like 2 seasons in a new park. So it's coming in the near future. Yep.
Oh, well, that's definitely worth getting another streaming service or something. I would pay to do that. Love that show.
SwearNet.com. Check it out.
Rest in peace, Jim Dunsworth. Loved him. Just started following his daughter Sarah on Instagram. He was Mr. Leahy.
Yeah.
He fun. God, wouldn't that have been a great interview? Wouldn't that have been an awesome getting sidetracked for Slash Tracks?
Hey, let's talk to Sarah. Let's try to set that up.
You know what? I will DM her today. How about that?
Let's do it.
Josh, in the show, man, don't steal any eggs before we end the show. I want to keep us out of handcuffs, please.
And we need to keep the giraffes away too. This has been Alex and Josh with Slash Tracks Action News ExpressISH. We really appreciate you watching. We gave you all the information about our Patreon, PayPal, email. It's all in the description, pinned comment on the screen. Yeah. Be excellent to each other, and remember, the sun never sets on those who ride into it. And I have to say this because of legal reasons. That saying was not made up by me. It was Hulk Hogan came up with that. So yeah, I got to. Yeah. Anyways, say goodnight, Alex.
Good night, Alex. Mahalo, dogs.
He's fat!
Yep.